9-5, go yet.
The wide receiver?
Yes.
Okay, hang on.
Unlike the
9-5, go yet.
The wide receiver?
Yes.
Okay, hang on.
unlike the
Hey man, say man, welcome back to another episode of Exclusive Media TV. As always, I'm Freon, and I'm here to give you the latest exclusive media content. So let's get right to it. Jameson Williams, star young receiver for the Detroit Lions. He kind of got caught up in the jam early this month. So let's get right to the topic. He was driving on the highway with his brother. They got pulled over. It was 2 guns in the car. One gun was registered to his brother. So it was legally registered and, it was a legal firearm. But the other gun was Jameson Williams' gun, but it wasn't registered and it wasn't legal to be used or be carried in the car. So he got pulled over and, 2 officers, one was a sergeant and another was a higher ranking member of the police department. And once they found out that it was Jameson Williams in the car, they let him go. Now, at the end of the day, these situations happen a lot more than often. We see politicians get pulled over. We see famous people, athletes, entertainers, actors, whatever, bro. You know what I'm saying? We always see these situations and, they normally end up getting a slap on the wrist and stuff like that. Like if they do go to court or get arrested, they end up being released the same night or the same day or whatever. So, but in this particular situation, I think personally, because this situation, hit the blogs, hit the media and stuff like that, now all of a sudden the Detroit Police Department, now they want to say, oh, well, nobody is above the law and, whoever commits crimes in this area needs to be convicted and stuff like that. Now, that's understandable. Like, at the end of the day, I do appreciate people who want to hold everybody responsible, regardless of your status and your rank and stuff like that. But in this scenario, if this man wasn't about to go commit a crime, then I don't really understand what the big deal is. Jameson Williams said, he carries a gun around with him because he lives in Detroit. We know Detroit is one of the most violent cities in this country. That's just what it is. Like, if you don't know, go look up the stats of Detroit and, cities in the Midwest, Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland, Akron, the list goes on, Gary, Indiana. So Detroit is definitely up there with one of the most dangerous cities in the country. So now, should Jameson Williams supposed to have the gun registered? Yeah, of course. I mean, like, let's keep it real. I mean, that's the law, bro. But at the end of the day, it's not like this man was going out there with his brother committing crimes and stuff like that. The man probably really feels scared to live in Detroit. I mean, Detroit not like, I'm sure it's good areas everywhere, but I know in certain areas of Detroit, I know it's not good. So at the end of the day, man, that man is just trying to protect himself and his family and trying to protect, everything he worked hard for. I mean, the man is a star athlete. He played for the Detroit Lions. They one of the top teams in the NFL. So he's just trying to protect himself. And I'm all for people trying to protect themselves because I do that on a daily with me and my family and stuff like that. I'd rather be caught with it than caught without it. So in a city like Detroit, you definitely would rather get caught with it than without it. You know what I'm saying? Just based on the crimes and the murders and stuff like that happens in that general area and stuff like that, man. So, but for the Detroit Police Department to act like, oh, we're gonna hold everybody accountable and blase, I respect it, I understand it, but at the end of the day, it's not like this man was going out there and committing crimes and stuff like that. I think the only reason why they said something is because it hit the media, hit the blogs, all that type of stuff, and everybody got their opinions on it. So now, they got to save face and put a statement out there to make it seem like they just not letting anybody get off for certain type of crime. So I understand it, but at the end of the day, let's not act like Detroit is just one of the most safest places in the country. And when we all know it's not, So at the end of the day, man, I just think, this public statement is just to save face and stuff like that because it didn't hit the blogs, hit the media and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the man wasn't committing crimes. He said he was trying to protect himself because he lived in Detroit, which is reasonable. At the end of the day, when you live in these major cities, especially the inner city or anything around it, you are a suspect. I don't want to say suspect, but you are likely to be a victim of a crime. And then lately, we've been seeing a lot of athletes being shot. Josh Reynolds was shot in his head and the chest, I think, you know what I'm saying? Then we saw another athlete from the 49ers. He had got shot when somebody tried to rob him in San Francisco. So you can't blame these athletes for trying to protect themselves and protect what they work hard for. So at the end of the day, man, Jameson Williams is not wrong, but I do agree with the Detroit Police Department. He do need to get the gun registered and stuff like that. That's the right thing to do, and I'm sure they're gonna make it right. But let's not make it seem like Detroit is just a safe place, like we all know it's not. So at the end of the day, man, you know, I'm glad he got it instead of being caught without it. So it is what it is. If you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. That way I can get more of this content out to you guys. And as always, appreciate y'all for tapping in. 100.